In on the escalating conflict in Iran as attacks intensify across the region and crude oil prices climb. Joining the panel, Oxford Analytica Director of Analysis, Nick Redman. Nick, great to have you on the side of the Atlantic again. Welcome.
Thank you.
So your specialty is looking around the corner. Of course, we're watching the moment-to-moment in Iran, but what's on your radar for next week and the week after?
So I think the key question is how long the conflict goes on. The more damage Iran sustains, the closer the government goes to collapse. So for the Iranians, the key thing is to shorten the conflict. They've got two levers for that. One is to inflict American casualties. The other is to create so much turbulence in global markets that actually there's pressure on the president to call a halt.
Yeah, we can see them trying that. So once again, obviously, the U.S. military may be the most effective organization on the entire planet. But in the Middle East, the problem is not so much winning that war at first, it's what comes after, the day after, the day after. Is there any chance that the Iranian people can rise up and take over their country?
So they're coming at it from a very difficult position. There were major protests at the start of this year. They were really brutally suppressed. Official death toll was 3,117. Likely it was a multiple of that. So we've got a coercive apparatus that is still very strong, a leadership system that is quite institutionalized and so can actually survive people dying. So it really isn't clear, but the longer it goes on, the weaker this coercive apparatus becomes, the greater the possibility that you could have a change of government.
Let's hope so.
So what's the best case scenario and your base case scenario, and how wide is the gap between the two?
So the realistic best case and base case for the region, I think, is the conflict goes on for, say, 3-4 weeks. The government's ability to threaten its neighbors is dramatically curtailed, maybe to the point of almost negligible. And therefore, you still get a country that is more or less governed, therefore stable, not into a civil war, but actually less of a menace to the region. It's a reasonable outcome for the region. It's not a great outcome for the Iranian people.
What's the best outcome for the U.S. that we can expect?
Well, the best outcome would be a government collapse, which actually leads to a more stable set of arrangements, a pro-U.S. government, sanctions lifted, Iran and a country, 93 million people, open for business. But the problem is you only get there via government collapse. And once a government collapses, there are other negative scenarios, including civil war.
Is it possible we could end up with somebody who is worse than the guy we killed?
I think it's possible you get someone who's very much like the guy you killed, because the entire structure is designed to create people like that. So the three we've got as top possibilities are former Supreme Leader's son, the previous Supreme Leader's grandson, and the Supreme Leader's hand-picked successor.
Boy.
Oh, now, Nick, I understand there's a lot of disruption now in the Strait of Hormuz. Basically, it's too risky to let oil tankers pass right now. So how long might this continue?
So I think it continues for as long as the Iranians are actually able credibly to threaten Hormuz, and that could be quite a while. It gives the United